End condenser method, nominal T network method, and nominal pi method. So now today let us solve some of the numerical problems related to let us solve some of the numerical problems which are related to short and medium transmission lines. So upon completion of this topic, you can solve the problems which are related to the short and medium transmission lines. See here, this is the problem number 1. So this problem we were already discussed in the previous lecture. This problem number 1 is related to the short transmission lines. Okay, so we were completed the problem number 1 in previous class itself. So let us go to the problem number 2. Okay, so problem number 2. So using the nominal pi method, so find the sending end voltage and voltage regulation of a 250 kilometer 3-phase 50 hertz transmission line which is delivering 25 MVA at 0.8 lagging power factor to a balanced load at 132 kV. Okay, so the line conductors are spaced equilaterally 3 meters apart. The conductor resistance is 0.11 ohm per kilometer and its effective diameter is 1.6 centimeter, and neglect the leakage here. Okay, so in this problem you have to use the nominal pi method. Okay, and by using this nominal pi method you have to find out the sending end voltage as well as voltage regulation of the transmission line. And this transmission line length is 250 kilometers and it is a 3-phase 50 hertz transmission line. And this transmission line is delivering a load of 25 MVA at 0.8 lagging power factor. Okay, and the voltage is maintained at 132 kV. Okay, so which is nothing but this is let us draw one diagram. So this is a nominal pi method. So total impedance will be in series. Okay, so in nominal pi method, capacitance will be connected. Half of the capacitance will be connected at the sending end, half of the capacitance will be connected at the receiving end. Okay, so this is C/2 and this is also C/2. Okay, so here you are connected a load. Okay, so this load rating is given as 25 MVA at 0.8 power factor lag. Okay, so this is the load 25 MVA 0.8 lagging power factor. Okay, so MVA, in terms of MVA value the load is given. Okay, and the voltage also given as 132 kilovolts. That means here voltage at the load VR. So VR is the receiving end voltage. This voltage is given as 132 kV. Okay, so this is 132 kV and the load is 25 MVA at 0.8 lagging power factor, right? And it is a balanced system and the line conductors are spaced equilaterally 3 meters apart, right? As said, as it is a 3-phase transmission line and it will be having 3 line conductors and those 3 line conductors are spaced equilaterally 3 meters apart. That means if your conductor is equally spaced. Okay, you have three phase conductors, so between any 2 conductors the distance is 3 meters, right? And the conductor resistance is given here, which is 0.11 ohms per kilometer. Okay, so the total length of the transmission line is 250 kilometers and per 1 kilometer it is having 0.11 ohm as a resistance value, right? And the effective diameter of the conductor is given as 1.6 centimeter. Okay, now here Z is nothing but R plus JX. Okay, X is the inductance of the transmission line. Okay, so this can be written as 2 pi F into L. Okay, so now the total resistance of the transmission line R can be calculated by using the given resistance value. right? As it is a 250 kilometers transmission line, you have to multiply this 0.11 ohm with 250. So you will get the total resistance of the transmission line as 27.5 ohms. So, but how to calculate the reactance? Reactance value is not given in the problem. So, what is the data given here to calculate the in the reactance? Okay, so reactance is equal to 2 pi FL. So, when you calculate the L value, so then you can calculate the X value. So, in a similar manner, here, so this capacitance value, Xc also not given. Okay, Xc is nothing but 1 by j omega c. Okay, so omega here is again 2 pi f, and c value also not given in the given problem. So you have to calculate capacitance value as well as inductance value from the given data. So what is the given data here? So the line conductors are spaced equilaterally 3 meters. That means it is a equilaterally spaced transmission line, right? And diameter of the conductor, effective diameter of the conductor is given as 1.6 centimeter. So how you can calculate inductance and capacitance? In the first unit, we were developed the equations for calculating the inductance as well as capacitance, right? So those formulas here you have to use. Okay, so the inductance value L is equal to 0.461 log d by r dash. So here r dash is the geometric mean radius value, which is equal to 0.7788 times the r. Okay, and d is the distance between the two lines. Okay, so distance between the two conductors, sorry, this one capital D is distance between the two conductors, which is 3 meters. Okay, now r is given in r is not given, diameter is given. So when the diameter is given, you can calculate the radius. Radius is equal to diameter by 2. So this will be 0.8 centimeters. Okay, and your capital D value, which is the spacing between any two conductors, is given as 3 meters. Okay, now while calculating the D by R value, D by R dash value, so your both the units will be the same. R dash here is 0.7788 times R. That means you have to calculate R dash also. So by using the formula 0.7788 times R. Okay, so after getting D value and R dash value, so now if you observe the units for both two, this is in meters and this is in centimeters. So you also convert this spacing between the two conductors, which is 3 meters to centimeters. Then you will get this as 300 centimeters. Okay. Now in this formula, you got all the values, D value, R dash value. Right? You just simply substitute the D and the R dash here in this form, in this formula. So then you will get the total inductance per kilometer of the transmission line. So inductance per kilometer of the transmission line is 1.24 millihenries per kilometer. Okay, so when you calculate the inductance by using this formula, or the units what here are the millihenries per kilometer. So that means the inductance value is only for 1 kilometer. Okay, so again your transmission line length is 250 kilometers. So you have to multiply this total the inductance per kilometer with 250, so that you will get the total inductance value. Okay, see here, and your reactance is 2 pi into F into L, right? 2 pi F value is 50 Hertz, and L here is this 1.24 into 250 kilometers. Okay, so 1.24, which is in millihenries, so 10 power minus 3 you are getting. Then your length, the total length of the transmission line is 250 kilometers. So X value for total length of the transmission line is 7 ohms. Okay, right. So in a similar manner, you can calculate the here center parameter also, which is C by 2, XC. Okay, so generally this center parameter will be represented with Y. admittance, right? So which is equal to or reciprocal of your impedance. Okay, as it is a purely capacitance value, so this will be equal to reciprocal of your XC. Okay, so which is equal to 1 by XC is 1 by j omega c, right? And the final value for y is j omega c, right? And c here is c by 2, only half of the capacitance, right? So this will be here c by 2 you have to consider, here also c by 2. Okay, so now you calculate the value of c. Okay, and c value also not given in the given problem, so you calculate by using this formula. So which is we were developed this formula in first unit, right, first module. So c is equal to 0.0242 by log d by r, and the units are microfarad per kilometer, right? When you calculate the c value, capacitance value, by using this formula, so then you will get the value of capacitance only for 1 kilometer. Again, you have to multiply that value with 250 to get the total capacitance value. Okay, so here d is 3 meters, which can be written as 300 centimeters, and r value is radius, so which is d by 2 value 0.8. Okay, so you substitute all the values, then you are getting 0.0094 microfarads per kilometer. Okay, so this is capacitance per 1 kilometer. Okay, so then admittance y is equal to this one. Okay, j omega c, right? J omega c. To get the total admittance, you are multiplying with L. L is the length of the transmission line. Okay, right? Here omega is nothing but 2 pi f. When you calculate the 2 pi f value, so then you will get 314. Okay, and the capacitance value is 0.0094 into 10 power minus 6 microfarads are given. Okay, and the length of the transmission line, which is 250 kilometers, and here you are having the j. So j is nothing but which is 1 at an angle 90 degrees. So you can write 1 at an angle 90 of this also. Okay, so y will be 7.38 into 10 power minus 4 at an angle of 90 degrees, right? So sorry, here one thing. So this value here is the y by 2. Okay, only half of the admittance will be connected at the sending end, and half of the admittance will be connected at receiving end. Okay, so this is y by 2 value, and y value is j into omega c only. Okay, and if the c is given for 1 kilometer, you have to multiply that value with L. L is the length of the transmission line, so that you will get the total admittance for transmission line. Okay, so which is 7.38 into 10 power minus 4, which is at an angle of 90 degrees you are getting. Okay, as it is admittance, so you can say that the units are more. Okay, is it clear how you can calculate the parameters? First, inductance, capacitance, okay, and the resistance values. Right, after calculating all the values here, so then you can find out the voltage, sending end voltage and voltage regulation. Right, here in the given problem, they were also given the load, right? So load and receiving end voltage both are given. Okay, so this is your load 25 MVA at 0.8 lagging power factor, and load is voltage is 132 kV. That means your VR value is 132 kV, and load in terms of MVA is given. Okay, so when load in terms of MVA is given, you know that how to calculate power P, right? 25 MVA is nothing but it is apparent power. So S value is given, so which is V into I. Okay, and power P is equal to, so VI cos phi. VI cos phi. As the voltages and currents are, you have to consider at receiving end. So this will become VR and this will become IR, and power factor also receiving end cos phi R. Okay, and the given load in MVA is here also VR into IR, so which is equal to 25 MVA. Okay, this is 25 MVA. Okay, so in place of VR into IR, you can simply substitute the 25 MVA, right? 25 into 10 power 6 you can substitute, right? And cos phi R, power factor is also given as 0.8. Okay, so my power factor is 0.8, right? Then you will get the total power at the receiving end. Okay, so what you will get here, so 20, so megawatt you will get. Okay, so after getting the power, you can calculate the magnitude of receiving end current. Okay, magnitude of receiving current. So current is equal to power, total power at receiving end by magnitude of VR into cos phi R. Okay, and here you have to consider VR IR as the line voltages. Okay, line voltage and line current, right? If they are phase voltages, this will be 3. So 3 times of this you have to consider. Okay, see here. So as it is a 3-phase system, so root 3 times the VLIL cos phi. If it is a single phase system, you can calculate like this. Okay, so what I was explained, right? But in given problem, the transmission line is a 3-phase system. So P is equal to root 3 VRIR cos phi R you will get, right? So here again you have to multiply all the root 3. So then magnitude of current IR can be PR by root 3 into VR. Okay, or you can VR into cos phi like this also you can calculate. Okay, or from this formula itself you can calculate. Okay, so S is equal to, so here it is for 3-phase system, so S is also root 3 into VR into IR, where VR and IR are the line voltage and line current. Okay, so now from this equation you can calculate the magnitude of current IR as, so this is not the magnitude of current IR is equal to S by root 3 VR. Okay, and S here is the 25 into 10 to the power, so actually this is 25 into 10 power 6. Okay, so your S value is 25 into 10 power 6 by root 3 into your voltage given here is line voltage, which is 132 kV kilovolts. So kilo means you have to again take 10 cubed. Okay, so this cubed and this will get cancelled. So here you will get 25 into 10 cubed by root 3 into 132, right? And the angle, what is the angle you have to, so if this is the magnitude of current. Okay, so if you calculate this, you will get only the magnitude, right? So if you want in terms of phasor, suppose if you take VR as the reference voltage, so that means VR is your reference voltage. So while drawing the phasor diagram, you will consider only the phase voltages, right? And your IR will be, as the load is lagging load, so your IR will be magnitude of IR at an angle of minus phi R. Okay, right? Power factor angle is given, which is 0.707, I think, right? 0.8, sorry. So in the given problem, power factor angle is 0.8 lagging. So from that means cos phi r is equal to 0.8, then phi r is equal to 36.9 degrees. Okay. So this is the angle value. Okay. So this is magnitude of phi r. So if you want only the magnitude of phi r, so you don't need to take this angle. Okay. So the magnitude of phi r is 109.3, and the phasor in terms of phasor, the total current IR will be 109.3 at an angle of minus 36.9 degrees. Okay. So then you calculate the VR per phase. Okay. So VR value which is given in the given problem is 132 kV, which is line voltage, right? So if you calculate the per phase voltage, you have to divide that with root 3, right? So 132 by root 3, and you are taking VR as the reference voltage, so the angle is 0 degrees. Okay. So the value of VR per phase what you are getting here is 76.2, which is at an angle of 0 degrees in kilovolts. Okay. Right. So then after getting the VR and IR values, so then what is the sending end voltage? So here your objective is to find out the sending end voltage, right? So now in terms of ABCD parameters, you know the value of Vs, right? So Vs is equal to 1 plus Yz by 2 into VR plus Z into IR. Okay. So you can use directly this formula. If you remember, you can use directly this formula. But if you are not remember this formula, so then you have to draw the vector diagram, and then you have to develop the equation for Vs. Okay. So that's why I'm asked you to remember the those ABCD vectors for all the transmission line, right? So for a short transmission line, it is 1Z 10, right? So A value is 1, B value is Z, and C is 1, D is 0. And for medium transmission line with end condenser method, you will be having 1 plus YZ, 1 plus YZ, Z by 1, I think. Okay. For this T network, here 1 plus YZ by 2. See here, wait. Right. So what is for medium transmission line? I think it is 1 plus YZ by 2. Z here also you'll be having same 1 plus YZ by 2. And here you may be having Y into 1 plus YZ by 4. Okay. And for another network, this value, it will goes to here. Okay. So 1 plus. So this is for nominal pi method. Okay. This is for nominal pi network. So this matrix is for nominal pi. So right. So for nominal T method, you will be having 1 plus YZ by 2, and then Z into 1 plus YZ by 4. Okay. So Z into 1 plus YZ by 4, and here you will be having only Y, and here again 1 plus YZ by 2. Okay. So if you represent all in matrix form, so this will be here you will be having Vs and Is vector. And here in this side you will be having VR, IR. Okay. So you have to remember these one. Okay. So this is for nominal pi, and this is for nominal T method. Now from this equation, right? So from this equation which is represented in matrix form. So what is Vs value? So Vs value is equal to 1 plus YZ by 2 into VR plus Z into IR. Okay. So this, so when you remember this matrix form, so then from that equation you will get the Vs as well as Is value also. And Is here is y into 1 plus yz by 4 into Vr plus 1 plus yz by 2 into IR. Okay. So now I am using this equation, okay, for Vs. Okay. So from this matrix model, I'm taking only the Vs. Vs is equal to 1 plus yz by 2 into Vr plus z into IR. Okay. So now here you know the all values. Y value you know, z value. So z value here is r plus jx. You know the r value as well as x value also. Then you can calculate the z value also, right? And Vr value is 76. So 76.2 plus z into IR value also you are calculated. All the values are known here. Just you simply substitute all the values in this equation. So you will get the sending end voltage. The final sending end voltage Vs is equal to 82.26 plus J 7.48 you are getting, right? So this is in complex form. If you represent in polar form, 82.6 into, sorry, 82.6 at an angle of 5.2 degrees, which is in kilovolts. Okay. So that is all. Also remember that all the values in this equation are per phase values only. Okay. All the values in this equation are per phase values, right? So if you want to calculate the line voltage, you have to multiply that with √3. Okay. So Vs value, which is in line value, is 143 kilovolts you are getting, right? So then how to calculate? So you have to calculate sending end voltage as well as regulation also, right? Sending end voltage you got. So then find out the voltage regulation. So what is voltage regulation? Formula. So percentage of voltage regulation is equal to receiving end voltage under no load condition minus receiving end voltage under full load condition by receiving end voltage under full load. So into 100 you have to take. So to get the percentage of regulation. Okay. So then what is this VR under no load condition? So so under no load condition, the IR value will become equal to 0. Okay. So now if you go to the previous slide, right? So from this sending end voltage equation, so this is under full load, right? Under no load condition, this IR will become equal to 0, right? So this value total will be 0 value you will get. So then what is this VR? So the VR is equal to Vs by 1 plus Yz by 2. Okay. So this is VR under no load condition. Okay. Under no load condition, your IR value becomes 0. So the VR under no load condition will be Vs by 1 plus Yz by 2 you will get. So this value is equal to A only. Okay. We were developed the voltage regulation formula. So in previous lecture itself. Okay. Here VRNL under no load condition can be written as VR under no load condition, it can be written as Vs by A. Okay. So now A here for this pi network is 1 plus Yz by 2. Okay. 1 plus Yz by 2. Now first you calculate the 1 plus Yz by 2 value. Okay. So this is the A. Okay. A is equal to 1 plus Yz by 2. Now you know the Y value as well as Z value. Is this is just to simply substitute those values. So then you will get the A value. Okay. So A value is 0.964 plus J 0.01. Right. So then we are under no load condition. So here under no load condition they were represented with naught. Okay, so this will be equal to magnitude of Vs by A. So, right, magnitude of Vs line voltage is 143 kilovolts. Here we were calculated here already. So 143 kilovolts. So then 1 plus Yz by 2, you take the magnitude. Okay. So here in this equation, for while finding the voltage regulation, you have to consider the magnitudes only. Okay. So magnitude of sending end voltage as well as A value also, only the magnitude you have to consider. Right. For this, you calculate the magnitude of that value of A is equal to square root of 0.964 whole square plus 0.01 whole square. Then you can, when you calculate that value, you will get 0.964 you are getting. Okay, which is approximately 0.964. Okay, so the final value is 148.3 kilovolts for receiving end voltage under no load condition. Okay, so this is the voltage under no load, and under the full load it is 132 kV. So which is given in the problem itself. Okay, receiving end voltage under full load condition is 132 kV. So percentage of voltage regulation can be written as V no load voltage minus V full load by V full load. And no load voltage is 148.3 and full load is 132 by 132. You will get final voltage regulation as 12.3%. Okay. So is there any doubt in this problem? Right, suppose the same problem is given and you are asked to find out the voltage, sending end voltage and percentage of voltage regulation by nominal T method. So instead of pi method, suppose they were asked to find out the nominal T method. How you can proceed? So the data is similar to this problem. So only nominal pi method is changed to nominal T method, right? So now while using nominal T method also, you have to calculate the inductance, capacitance, all the values, okay? Resistance values, similar to the pi model case also, right? So this total calculations is similar, okay? So then after calculating the resistance, inductance and admittance, right? So then you have to find out the sending end voltage. Right, here also up to this, this is the same. Okay, up to this, the calculations are same for your nominal T method also. Okay, so but this equation will change for nominal T method. Okay, this is for nominal pi method. So which is Vs is equal to 1 plus Yz by 2 into Vr plus Z into IR. So but for your nominal T method, this equation only will change. Okay, so for this nominal T method, it is 1 plus Yz by 2 into Vr plus in place of Z, you will get Z into 1 plus Yz by 4. Okay, so Z into 1 plus Yz by 4 you will get. So and all the values you know, so then you will get the final voltage. Okay, so this is in phase voltage, then you convert to the line voltage, and while calculating the voltage regulation, the procedure again will be the similar. Okay, so for whether it is a nominal pi method or nominal T method, both will be having A value as 1 plus Yz by 2 only. Okay, so in nominal pi method also A value is 1 plus Yz by 2, and nominal T method also A value is 1 plus Yz by 2 only. So the percentage of voltage regulation will be the same for both. Okay, so this is the A value which is same for both nominal T as well as nominal pi, right? Then we are under no load condition. So we are under no load condition is equal to magnitude of Vs by your magnitude of A. Okay, so this Vs value is 148.3 kilovolts for nominal pi method. So but when you calculate this Vs value by using nominal T method, it will be slightly different from this value. Okay, this may be greater at 148 or maybe less than 148 also. Okay, so this Vs value will change, right? So the percentage of voltage regulation also will change slightly. So nominal T method as well as nominal pi method both doesn't give the exact values now. Okay, so when you use nominal T method and nominal pi method, you will get the different values, but those values are relatively nearer to each other. Okay. Right. Let us see another problem. So if overhead transmission line delivers 1100 kilowatt at 33 kV at 0.8 power factor lagging. So the total resistance and inductive reactance of the line are 10 ohms and 15 ohms respectively. Determine the sending end voltage, sending end power factor, and transmission efficiency. Okay. Right here, if you observe the problem, so they were given the total resistance and total reactance, right? So, but capacitance is not given. So you have to consider this transmission line as a short transmission line. Okay. Suppose if they were given the capacitance also, so then you can assume that this is a medium transmission line or long transmission line, right? In this problem, they were not mentioned whether it is a medium transmission line or short transmission line, and length of the transmission line also not mentioned. So you cannot say that it is medium transmission line. Okay. So why? Because the data for medium transmission line, you have to get resistance, inductance, and capacitance also they have to give. The capacitance value is not given here. So you consider this problem is for short transmission line. Okay. And also this is a single phase system. Okay. Single phase overhead transmission line, right? All the values are per phase values only, right? So the load here given as 1100 kilowatts at 33 kV and power factor is 0.8 lagging, right? So the receiving end voltage VR value is 33 kV. And the power at the receiving end, PR is equal to 1100 kilowatts, and power factor also given for receiving end. Cos pi r value is given. So cos pi r is equal to 0.8. Okay. So when you know the PR receiving end power, this receiving end power is nothing but VR into IR cos pi r. Okay. So as this is a single phase system, all the voltage and current are in per phase values only. VR, IR, cos pi r. Suppose if it is a three phase system, let us see. So then that PR will be √3 times the VR into IR cos pi r. Okay. So √3 times VR into IR cos pi r. And here this VR and IR both are the line voltage and line current. Right? If you want in terms of phase voltage, for phase voltage and phase current, it will be 3 into VR IR cos pi r. Okay. So if it is a three-phase system, you may use either this formula. Okay. When you use this formula, √3 into VR IR, so these voltage and current are line values. So when you use this formula, then this VR and IR are the phase values. Okay. So for single phase system, this 3 or √3 you won't get. Okay. You know this, right? These equations, you know, from the network analysis itself, right? Okay. So now here you have to find out the sending end voltage. So Vs value you have to find out. At the same time, sending end power factor. So cos phi s you have to find out. And then transmission line efficiency also you have to answer. You have to calculate, right? So now from this equation, you can calculate the IR value. right? That IR value is equal to PR by VR into cos phi r. Okay, and here the total resistance and inductive reactance of the transmission line are directly given. Okay, that means capital R value is 10 ohms and X value is 15 ohms. So impedance value is R plus JX, which is 10 plus J 15. Okay, so then you take the reference voltage as your VR only, right? That VR value is given as 33 kilovolts. Okay, so VR is 33 kilovolts, which can be written as 33,000 volts also. So then current can be calculated by using this equation. IR is equal to PR by VR into cos phi r, and the PR value is 1100 kilowatts. So 1100 into 10 cubed you can write, and VR value is 33,000 volts into power factor is 0.8. So your line current or phase current also, right? Line current or phase current both are same. Why? Because it is a single phase system, right? So this is 41.67 amperes. Okay, so right, when you know the cos phi r, you can also calculate the sin phi r, which is 0.6, right? So now how you can calculate the sending end voltage now? Right, for calculating the sending end voltage, you can use two methods. First method is you can draw the phasor diagram and then you can calculate it, or you can use the ABCD parameters itself, right? So when you use the ABCD parameters, you have to remember that matrix model, so which is VS IS. So VS IS is equal to Z into 1, sorry, 1 Z 0 1. This is the value. So into VR IR. So in previous case, previously I have written this as wrong. So this is actually correct. So VS value is VR plus IR into Z. From this equation itself, you write the KVL. That VS value is this VR plus I into Z. Okay. So your VR and I this IR as well as IS both are the same for short transmission line. So which we were represented with small I. Okay, small I is the current flowing to the transmission line. So that transmission line current will be same at sending end as well as at receiving end for short transmission lines. Okay, so now from this matrix model, you can say that VS is equal to VR into VR plus Z into IR. Okay, so by using this formula, you can calculate your VS. Okay, so now take VR as reference value. So when VR you take reference voltage, so then this will be magnitude of VR at an angle of 0 degrees, right? So in so then or you can write in complex form as VR plus J0. Okay, so this is equal to 33,000 volts, right? So when you take VR as reference, what about IR? IR will be lagging the voltage by an angle of phi r. So this will be IR is equal to magnitude of IR at an angle of minus phi r. Okay, so this can be written as, right, here IR is same as IS, which is equal to I. We were assuming. So you can call it as I at an angle of minus phi r. So this can be written as I into e power minus j phi r, or this can be again written as this j into e into j e power j minus e power minus j phi r can be written as cos phi r minus j sin phi r. So this is your line current vector. Okay, or you can directly take here the mark. So in previous case, what is the value of IR, magnitude of IR, which were already calculated, which is 41.67 amperes. Okay, so 47.67 amperes, and the angle here is at an angle of minus 5R. Directly you can here itself we can write, right, as it is 0.3, that 5R angle will be approximately 36.6 degrees. Okay, right, so that means 41.67 at an angle of this. Okay, or in rectangular form also you can write like this. Okay, I is equal to, so vector I is equal to magnitude of I cos phi r minus j sin phi, right? So that value what you are getting here is 33.33 minus j25, which is in amperes. If you convert this into polar form, you will get the 41.67 at an angle of minus 36.6. Okay, so then sending end voltage Vs is equal to VR plus IR in I into Z. Okay, so you know the VR, which is 33,000 volts, and IR value is this one, and Z value is R plus JX. Okay, all values are known. So then sending end voltage can be calculated as 33.708.3 plus J250 volts you are getting. Okay, so if you want to calculate the magnitude of Vs, then magnitude of Vs is equal to under square root 33.7083 whole square plus 250 whole square. So the magnitude of Vs finally what you are getting is 33.709 volts. If you convert into kilovolts, it is 33.7 kilovolts. Okay, so this is the sending end voltage. After finding the sending end voltage, they were also asked to find out the sending end power factor, right? So, right, for calculating the sending end power factor, you have to draw the phasor diagram. Okay, first VR is your reference, right? So then your I will be lagging the VR by an angle phi r. So then to get the Vs for this vector VR, you have to add I into Z. Okay, so for this vector VR, you are adding I into Z, so that you are getting Vs. Okay, so this in I into Z is IR plus JXL. Okay, now the angle between this Vs and your I is your phi s. Okay, so this angle, the angle between Vs and I, this is phi s value. Okay, that phi s value is equal to, so let us assume that the angle between Vs and Vr will be alpha. So then phi s will be phi r plus alpha you will get, and your phi r is here is 36.6. So what is the alpha value here, right? So how you can calculate the alpha value? You extend this, and you represent one rectangle triangle. Right. Right. So instead of like this also you can calculate. So but you can also calculate from the voltage sending and voltage equation itself now, right? So your sending end voltage Vs is equal to this value. Okay, so then if you convert this into polar form, right, you will get some magnitude, so which is 33.709, which is at an angle of alpha here. Okay, your reference is VR, so this angle is with reference to your phi r, sorry VR, right? So this angle is this value. Okay, so from this voltage sending end voltage equation itself, you can calculate the alpha. That alpha value is, so tan inverse of y by z. So if it is x plus y jy, so then this can be written as y by z, right? And y here is 250, and z here is y by x, sorry, y by x. So x here is 33.708. Okay, So they like this, you can calculate the alpha value. Okay, alpha value is 250 by 33.708.3, which is tan inverse. So the value alpha what value is 0.42 degrees you are getting. Okay, so now sending in a power factor angle is phi s, which is the phi r plus alpha value from the phasor diagram. Okay, so from this phasor diagram, phi s value, which is the angle between your Vs and I. So this angle is phi s. That phi s value is phi r plus alpha. Okay, alpha value you are calculated, and phi r value is getting from the power factor, receiving end power factor, which is receiving power cos phi r is given as 0.8. So phi r will be 36.8 degrees. Okay, phi r is equal to 36.87 degrees plus 0.42. So 37.29 is the your phi s. So sending in power factor cos phi s is equal to cos of this angle. So you are getting 0.7956 lagging. Okay, right. You are calculated as sending in power factor also calculated. Now you calculate the transmission efficiency. Okay, so transmission efficiency formula is receiving end power by receiving end power plus I square R. Right, when you use this formula, so you will get the percentage of efficiency. Okay, the percentage of efficiency, you know the PR value, which is 1100 kilowatts, and I value is 41.67 amperes, and resistance value is 10 ohms. If you use this formula, you will get percentage of efficiency also. Okay, so like this you can calculate by using the network itself. Okay, so here we are not using the ABCD parameters. Even if you use the ABCD parameters also, you will get VSS, VR plus IZ for. So for short transmission line, it is simple, right? So but for medium transmission line,